This is Julian, and I'm here in Savannah, Georgia. And what I thought I'd talk about today is the importance of having a team, that you work with and who supports you. And most importantly, above all else, delegation, delegating some of your work to that team and not falling into the trap of just trying to do everything yourself, And this here is something that I'm working on as well. And what I thought I'd do with this video here is kind of give you, my perspective, like illustrate this through, my own experiences, as well as really hammer on the importance of fucking delegation. So this is actually something that, I've personally always had problems with. I remember even as a kid, I used to play guitar, and I played with a friend of mine, and we'd compose songs together and record them in, I had this little M-Box 2, and there's this program called Pro Tools. And I wanted to do everything. I want to play all the guitars, I want to do this, then I want to tweak it myself, I want to do all the cutting myself, I want to do the mastering myself, and every little task at hand, I had to do it, and I couldn't let someone else do it. I didn't even want to give it to someone else. Like if another friend came up, he's like, hey dude, I have a little bit more experience, cutting the tracks. I'm like, I guess so, but then I'd be like all paranoid looking over his shoulder, and I just really had to do everything myself. The same, funny enough, with these videos here, you see all these videos coming out, and if you're actually an entrepreneur, if you're into business, you're gonna think I'm insane when I say this, but I actually do a lot of the editing and cutting myself of these videos, And again, it's that failure to delegate where, I really don't know what it is. It's like there's this need for me to just do everything. I'd say on one hand, it's probably the fact that I am in a way a perfectionist. I have a little bit of OCD. It's like very control freak. And the two big ones, and I'm sure this, everyone can relate to this, is the belief that if I don't do it, it'll be shittier if someone else does it. So it won't be as good and I'll lose in the quality of the video and everything will go to shit. And the other is just a sense of, just letting it go and not having such a strong ego involved, And again, here I'm doing everything. It's like, in the past, if you look at my videos, I'm touring, filming, editing, doing it all, coming up with the content. And as you saw in the previous video that came up just before this one, I ran myself in the fucking ground. You see me, I'm just like, oh, Dad. It's like, why did that happen? Failure to delegate. It was multiple things, like structuring my day, pretty much what I talked about in that video there. But failure to delegate is a fucking huge one. Here I am on this tour, and what am I doing? I'm doing everything. I'm even doing some of the fucking driving. I'm going up to the seminar rooms. I'm doing the setup as well. I have a team with me now, but I'm doing all the setup, and there's this little need inside where it's like, I must do it, I must do it, I must do it. And what's so ridiculous is I have the team with me. It's like you have the team, you have the people, and you have to stop getting into your own fucking way and start delegating. And the frame of mind, that really, at least, again, I'm slowly working on this myself. I'm not perfect at it, but the frame of mind that, is really starting to seep in is, although you can, let's just say, view it like, I'm gonna do everything perfectly myself and focus on all the little details, you gotta start thinking bigger picture. It's like, yeah, that may make the video, let's just say, perfect by your standards, but, what's the most important things in terms of growing? Is it making that next little edit perfect? Or is it, say, taking the time away from that editing and focusing on your core strengths and doing something that'll actually grow the brand, grow the business, grow whoever the fuck you are? So it's the same with the music. I could do all those little details. I want to do the editing, the mixing, or guess what? I could spend more time composing the fucking songs and have someone else do that. And this year is pretty key too. Ideally, you need to find out what your core strengths are and find a way to only do those. And this is actually something a client of mine told me was in Austin. He did a program with me, and he's like, dude, from a business perspective, like, you better fucking start doing your core strengths. Like, you should not be dabbling around doing this shit. You should not be doing this shit. Get people to do this and focus on your shit. And this here is basically the foundation and the concept behind delegation. So basically, what I did, and what I recommend that you do if you're in a similar position, is write down everything that you're doing. Every little task, even little menial tasks, and try to be as precise as possible, because if you're too vague, it just doesn't work. This is what I did. I actually sat down, and on this tour, on a daily basis, I would just write down every little thing that I'm doing, And then from there, I'm looking at it, it's like sit down and look at all that, and ask yourself, what are the stuff that you're the best at? What are the stuff that are really utilizing your core strengths? Now, on my hand, here, my core strength is the content, the delivery, thinking about different examples based on my life, on different clients, on different situations, on what I'm going through, and coming up with content and sharing that with you, okay? That there is a huge one for me. Another one's giving these seminars. Another one is coaching. Like those there are hitting on my core strength. Okay, is setting up a seminar room hitting on my core strengths? Of course not. Is doing the editing of the video hitting on my core strengths? Of course not. And what you have to do is look at that list, keep your core strengths, and then find a way to delegate the rest. Okay, every little thing that's not hitting on those core strengths, give them to someone else. Okay, and really let go of that ego as well of like, oh, it'll be better, because what are you gonna do? Okay, you're gonna delegate it to someone whose fucking core strength is that task. And this is how it actually even ends up better than before. It's like, here I am thinking, oh, I can do this video and I must edit the video and do everything, but that's not my core strength. Okay, if I get a guy whose core strength is, let's just say, video editing or filming, and then I give him that task, then it's actually in the best position ever, because I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing, and then again, the sum of all the parts, like that's the finished product. That's who you come out with epic content, epic videos, an epic finished product. Okay, and this year, again, it can be tough to do. I still have a lot of trouble with it, but you have to start doing it. Okay, it's like the bigger you get, and this is what I'm realizing here. It's like the bigger my brand is growing, things just get so fucking complicated. You embark on this journey, and I remember me starting my first world tour, 4 years ago. I was like, I'm just me doing my thing. It's just running around doing these events, filming, and shit's starting to grow. And guess what? It's like, you're having huge rooms now. It's like way more people are showing up. There's way more responsibilities. There's way more stuff to do. It's just too fucking complicated. You can't do it all by yourself. You reach that tipping point, if you will. You start off by yourself, but then you reach that tipping point where you have to start expanding, and there's a shift, that needs to be made here. And this is what I'm realizing here. If you look at anyone who's successful, like any of the top guys who say truly made it in a certain area, they all delegate. They all have staff members, they all have consultants, they all have advisors, they all have people who, again, are specialized in all these different things that are not their core strengths, and they just do their thing. Okay, the guy who actually took that program who told me to start delegating too, he referenced Eben Pagan, and what he did too is like, from what Eben Pagan said, and this is what he told me, it's like you're either producing or recuperating, and that's all you do. It's like you're doing your core strength, like the cream of the, I don't even know the expression, the cream of the creme of the top or something, I don't know. Anyway, it's like you're doing your little 1%, like the thing you're specialized in, and you're only doing that or you're recuperating, and that's it. You're not fucking around, you're not dabbling around, you're not wasting fucking time, okay? And that's something I'm doing now anyway, so start, if you're in the similar situation, start thinking about it for yourself. And what I will say is look for staff who are specialized, let's just say, in the field. And there's two ways to go about it. One is you pay them. The other is you try to find, let's say, a win-win, value exchange. For example, here, my advice, or before, let's just say, success with women, that would be, a lot of value, and then I could get people giving me value, let's just say, in editing, value in, business, value in traveling, value in all these different areas, and it was a good exchange. So that's one way of doing it, and then the other is paying them. And people are always reluctant to paying. It's like, oh, I don't want to hire someone to do the shit that I could do. But again, it's like, yeah, you may temporarily lose a little bit of money, but you need that to make a lot more later on, okay? And once you delegate, this is the biggest one, it's like trust in that person. Trust in that person 100%. Coach them, of course. Don't just delegate and just be like, okay, do your thing, you're specialized, it's your core strength. It's like, no, if I'm gonna have someone, for example, help me film the videos and edit the videos, I'm gonna tell them specifically what I want, but then from there, let it go, okay? Fully fucking let it go, and start just doing your thing, okay? It's like your fucking core strength. Don't do it all. It's like, you gotta start being a fucking team player, if you will. So really keep this all in mind, okay? Don't do everything yourself. Don't be stubborn. Don't be strong-headed, okay? Ask yourself, what is my core strength, okay? Or what are my core strengths? And delegate the rest to people who, again, they have their own core strengths, okay? You can't be everything. There's an awesome way of viewing this too, which Anthony Robbins talks about. And what he says is, there's three types of people. There's the artists, the managers, and the entrepreneurs. Okay, and the artist is the guy who, what turns him on, if you will, is just the creative expression side of things. It's about putting himself out there, putting out material, content, whatever it may be that's just authentic and genuine and an expression of himself. That's what turns him on. That's what he's in it for. There's the manager, okay, and that person, what turns them on is putting different systems in place, okay, actually like delegating, if you will. I'm an artist myself, so what I actually would do is not do all the delegation myself, is I'd actually hire someone who's more of a manager type of person to do the delegation for me, whose core strength, if you will, is to delegate. And lastly, there's the entrepreneur, and that person's core strength, what turns him on, or his high, if you will, is building the business. It doesn't really matter what business, unlike the artist. It doesn't have to be, like something that's, what really, is an expression of you. He just likes the building process. He could switch another business, build that. That's what turns him on. And guess what? Usually you're one of them. You can be a bit of two, a bit of all three, but you're never 100% in all three. Okay, so start thinking about that. Which one are you? And guess what? You're gonna have to go find the other two. If I'm the artist, I need to fucking get someone who's gonna do the delegation. I need to get someone too, even in business, whose main fucking drive is building the business. Okay, I have that too. I'm more entrepreneur artist, but 100% artist, not that 100% entrepreneur. Okay, that's what I need, and you need to start thinking that way too. Okay, I'm sorry, you can't be everything. You gotta be a team player. You gotta get people on your team. You gotta let go of your ego, put it aside, and trust that they'll do well. Surrender the work to them, and you'll go through a phase of readjusting. This is what I'm going through now. Like, if you ask my cinematographer here, we get into, some arguments on like different shots. But again, it's just that transition where it's just getting rid of that ego. Okay, so here's my little rant, let's just say, on delegation. Get on it, and as always, until next time.